Hello, welcome to Soccer Boys Premier League Season 2, brought to you by LULU Paint Center and Tea Time, supported by Radio Suno. This is Hashin with you, and I'm going to do a radio analysis of the table situation after match day 2. I don't like making long videos, but this particular one is quite long because we'll also be looking at the different scenarios after match day 3 and how teams can qualify for the final. So it's quite complicated. If you are a football fan, you'll definitely enjoy this, but you need to listen really, really carefully because the situations are quite complex. So in front of you is the table after match day 2. On the top of the table is Tumama Thunders, who are unbeaten in their 2 games. In fact, they've won one match and drawn another. So they have 4 points and they are on top of the table. In second position is Ryan Royals, who have won their first SBPL match and lost their first match. So they have 3 points. That puts them in second position. In third position is the only other team other than Tumama Thunders who have an unbeaten record. That's Wakra Strikers, who have 2 points from their 2 matches with 2 draws. And at the bottom of the table is Katara Warriors, who have 1 draw and 1 loss. However, fans of Katara Warriors and players of Katara Warriors, no reason to despair because you still have more than a decent chance of making it through to the final. You are by no means eliminated because the table situation is such that the 2 matches on match day 3 are virtual knockout matches. Any team that wins goes through to the final, regardless of which team it is, be it Katara Warriors or whichever team. If you win, you go through to the final. So let's start off by looking at a relatively simple scenario. So if 2 matches are both draws, then the situation stays the same as it is after match day 2, and Tumama Thunders and Ryan Royals will qualify for the final. If Ryan Royal wins their match, then that makes sure that Ryan Royals will qualify. That will eliminate Wakra Strikers. However, if Wakra Strikers wins their match, then that makes sure that Wakra Strikers will have more points than at least 2 other teams. So that makes sure that Wakra Strikers will qualify and Ryan Royal will be eliminated. Now, for the second game, if Tumama Thunders wins the second game, then that they will have an unassailable position, and that will make sure that Tumama Thunders will qualify and Katara Warriors is eliminated. If Katara Warriors wins their second game, that makes sure that Katara Warriors will qualify. However, even if Katara Warriors wins and Tumama Thunders loses, it doesn't mean that Tumama Thunder will be eliminated. But we'll look into that in more detail. But this is just putting the scenario out that if you win, you qualify for the final. But let's start looking at the draw situations because this is where things start getting more interesting. If the first match is a draw, and if Katara Warriors wins the second match, then we have a very interesting situation in the table. We'll have 3 teams which are tied up on points. We'll have Tumama, Rayan, and Katara with 4 points each. And they will also have the same goal difference if this specific store happens to come by. The rules state that if the points are the same, then we look at the goal difference. Now, let me illustrate to you a situation where the goal difference starts looking more important. So let's assume that Katara Warriors wins by more than a 1 goal margin. Then Tumama Thunder's goal difference will drop behind that of Royals. Now remember, we are assuming that the first match is a draw and Katara Warriors is winning the second match. So the first match is a draw, Katara Warriors wins more than 2 goal margin, then TT will be eliminated. So Katara Warriors can make life very difficult for TT. So this is, of course, we are analyzing situations where the first game is a draw. So incidentally, if the first game is a draw, Wakara Strikers is already eliminated. We are only talking about Tumama Rayan and Katara. So as I was saying, if the first game is a draw and Katara Warriors wins by more than one goal margin, then it's Katara and Rayan that will qualify, because the goal difference begins to count. However, if the first game is a draw and Katara Warriors wins the second game by a one goal margin, and this is where things start becoming really, really interesting. If Katara Warriors wins, regardless, it will make sure that Katara Warriors will qualify. But if they win by only a one goal margin, then Tumama Thunders do not get eliminated. Even if they lose by a one goal margin, they still have hope. And if you look at the table, you can see it very clearly. If it's just a one goal margin, then what happens is the points are tied, the goal difference is tied, and the goals which are scored can also be tied. So where would it not be tied? If the first game is a draw, if Katara wins by a one goal margin, whoever scores more number of goals between Tumama Thunders and Rayan Royals will qualify. That's what the rule states. So let's say if the first game didn't end in a 0-0 draw, if it's a 1-1 draw, that means in this particular set of scenarios, Rayan has scored more goals than Tumama, so they go through. Let's say it's a 0-0 draw and 2-1. Then again, in that particular set of scenarios, it was Tumama who has scored more number of goals, so they will go through. Now, there's also another set of scenarios, which is that let's assume that the first game is a draw and Katara Warriors wins the second game by a one goal margin, and Rayan Royals and Tumama Thunders have scored the same number of goals. So this is just one of those set of scenarios. The other set of scenarios is a score of 1-1, 2-1, let's say, and you can see here everything is tied: points, goal difference, and goals for. In this particular set of scenarios, Katara, like I explained before, will already go through, because Katara kind of makes sure that they have a better goal for record than TT in making sure that they win. So they are already out. So we're trying to break the tie between Tumama Thunders and Rayan Royals. So in this particular set of situations, if first game is a draw, Katara Warriors win second game by one goal margin. Katara Warriors has already qualified. But between Tumama Thunders and Royals, the rule states that since these two are tied, we will look at the head-to-head record. And the head-to-head record shows Tumama Thunders has scored Tumama Thunders has beaten Rayan Royals in that critical match on day one. So that will mean that Tumama Thunders will qualify. So just to summarize, putting it very simple for each team, Tumama Thunders just needs to make sure that you get a draw and you will qualify. For Rayan Royals, if you win the match, you are through. If you are going to get a draw, then it's complicated. You have to root for Katara Warriors to do well in their last match. So as much as possible, you want to win rather than put your fate in somebody else's hands. It's very simple for Wakra Strikers and Katara Warriors. You guys need to win the match. It's a must-win situation for you. The other good news for all of us is that there was a coin toss as a way to resolve a tie. But the good news is that no matter what happens, there's not going to be a coin toss. So no matter what the outcome, we will have a clear winner on match day 3. So if after watching all of this you are still confused, I highly recommend that you come to Lusail, Doha Sports Park on January 17th at 8 a.m. You get to watch all the teams which are playing, and whichever team is celebrating at the end of the day, that's the team that has got through to the final. So thank you everyone for listening. I hope things are clear for you. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week, and have a great day.